Welcome to my channel, Rise of Edge Crusher. I'm an Overwatch coach with a focus on helping bronze and silver players learn the skills they'll need to climb out of those lower ranks, and in this video, I'm going to be going over 5 changes that you can make to your gameplay right away to see some improvement. There are of course many changes that need to be made over a longer period of time to master the game. Raw aim, awareness, and positioning relative to your teammates are all things that require a lot of time and practice. They're very important. But even if you're taking the time right now to learn them, you want something you can do to change up your performance that'll let you see results right now. That's what I'm going to cover here. For those who don't want to sit through a whole YouTube video, I'll list the 5 tips that I'm going to cover right now. Then I'll go over them in detail throughout the rest of the video. They are: play at corners, not in the open. Pay attention to which way the enemy character models are facing. Stop panicking and rushing your shots. Take your time, put your crosshair on the enemy, and click. Have a plan to deal with enemy ultimates. Know your escape route. First change to make: play at corners, not in the open. The most important positioning tip that I can give to lower ranked Overwatch players is to never stand in the middle of the open. Corners are your friends. Think of the walls and structures of the map as being infinite shields. If you can use them to block damage, you always want to do so. When you think about the path you're going to take around the map, from your spawn to the objective or from the position you're holding to the objective, think of ways that you can move from corner to corner. Spend as little time as possible standing on open ground. Never stand still in a choke. Instead, start from the corner around the outside of the choke, and when engaging, move through the choke and to another piece of map geometry as quickly as you can. Second change: pay attention to which way the enemy character models are facing. A huge step that you can take towards improving your awareness is to take constant mental note of which way the enemy character models are facing. I'm a bit of a Genji specialist, and I coach a lot of lower ranked Genji players, and one of the most common mistakes I see them make is that they'll see a McCree or Widow or something of that nature, and they'll instantly deflect, while the McCree or the Widow isn't even looking at them. That's a waste of deflect, and it's not going to get them any value. You can save a lot of resources, including your life, by being aware of which direction the enemy is facing. If they're looking at you, and you can't negate or kill them right now, you'd better get behind some cover. If they're looking away, you know that you're safe for the moment, but what are they looking at? Are they looking for a kill on a support in your backline? That's something you may need to deal with before the teamfight shifts out of your favor. Third change: stop panicking and rushing your shots. Having perfect control of your arm to master those sick flicks takes hours upon hours of practice, but a lot of the bad aim in low ranks has little to do with the arm. It's only about feeling pressured and rushing your shots. You'll get into this situation where a Tracer is attacking you, you take a shot at her and miss, she blinks, you take another shot at her and you miss, now she's taken away some of your HP and you're thinking, oh god, why am I so bad? I need to hit this Tracer right now! And you just keep forcing the shots and your crosshair is never in the right place, and now your arm is on the other side of your mouse pad and it just feels really uncomfortable and awkward, and that Tracer is so annoying! Does this sound familiar? Well, what you need to do in that situation is to stop panicking, stop rushing. The time to kill in this game is quite long compared to other FPS games, especially in the lower ranks. Take a breath, take your time, find your crosshair, put it on the enemy, and click. In the practice range, no matter how bad a player's aim is, they can land the headshots on those bots. That's because they set the pace of the fight as slow as they'd like. The bots don't fight back. No pressure is being placed on the player to get the kill faster. In the game, there often isn't as much pressure being placed on a player by the enemies as the player is putting on themselves mentally. Everyone wants to be good at the game, but you have to be bad first. Slow down, take your time, and land those shots. The speed will come naturally with time and practice. Fourth change: have a plan to deal with enemy ultimates. There are 2 common responses to enemy ultimates in low ranks. The first is to run away. The entire team trying to back away from the ultimate in a large clump. Against a damage-based ultimate like Dragon Blade or Tactical Visor, this positioning keeps you vulnerable to the ultimate. Against a zoning or crowd control ultimate like Blizzard, it can funnel you into a burst of damage from the rest of the enemy team. The other response is to ignore the ultimate entirely, or perhaps not realize that there's an ultimate in play at all. In Masters and above, when a player ults, the opposing team has no fear of that ult. If a Genji is Dragon Blading over their heads, or even Nano Blading, they don't have to give up the space they're controlling. They hold their ground, and they all shoot at the ulting thing, without even needing the comms to find it and do it. For that Genji to get any value out of his ult, other members of his team need to go in first and force the enemies to use resources early or put themselves in vulnerable positions. When the enemy is using an ultimate in your game, don't fear it. Don't panic. Back up only as much as needed to get out of any area of effect, such as for a Torb or a Mei ult. Take a breath, put your crosshair on the enemy, and click. They're not invincible, and they're really not that scary. And I do understand that in Masters, you think they have the aim to deal with this. Their aim is better than ours in Bronze or in Silver or even in Gold. But it's really not about aim. No matter how good this player is, the player who's ulting, even if they're a top 500, they cannot aim perfectly in 6 directions at once. It's all just about target focus. You get 6 people focused on that thing, no matter how bad your aim is, the 6 are going to win over the 1. Fifth and final change covered in this video, know your escape route. Where are you going to go if things go wrong? If you're in the process of pushing from choke to point, and the enemy Ana lands an anti-nade on you, what are you going to do? You need to be able to determine, as you think through your rotation, what position will provide you with fast cover. Where could you retreat to? What could you change about your pathing to alter the angle of your engage, and catch the enemy team off guard? Where's the nearest health pack? Get in the habit of asking those sorts of questions to yourself as you're moving across the map. If the enemy pushes me here, where can I go to be safer? That concludes this video on small changes that will help lower ranked players improve at Overwatch faster. I hope you found this video helpful. Please feel free to leave any feedback in the comments below. Good luck in all your Overwatch conquests.